Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to AVLSI Lab number 1 video. So this is about analysis of MOSFET for analog performance. So basically we are going to see various characteristics and we will have three tasks over here. First is variation in the output resistance, that is RO. Next task will be based on the variation in GM, that is transconductance, and the last will be the variation in GMB. Okay, so these are the three tasks which we are going to perform in this experiment. So let us start, and we will be using LTspice to simulate the circuit. So this is NMOS enhancement type MOSFET. So let's start building the circuit. Okay, and then we'll see the procedure one by one. Okay, so this is my LTspice workspace. So from here, I will select the components. I will go for NMOS 4. Okay, and I'll place it over here. And then I also require two power supplies. So I'll go over here, select voltage, and click it over here. Okay, and next I will place these power supplies near the circuit. Next I'll join them with a wire and connect all of them properly to the ground. Also, here the source terminal is also connected to the ground, and here basically this is the body or the substrate terminal. For NMOS, this also has to be connected to the ground. So this also I'll tie to the ground. Okay. So whenever you have a ground connection or a more than one connection, you have this square color dot. Okay. So what we do next is we need to rename this transistor. Okay. First of all, whenever you get a particular lab, you need to write your name, roll number, right? So I'll go to draft, go to comment text, and I'll write over here AVLSI lab number 1, and you can write the name over here also. So you have to write your own name, then roll number. Always it's a good practice to write this way. So I'm just writing a random roll number and date of performance. Let's say today's date is 21/1/2021. Okay, and I'll just click on OK, and I place it over here. Okay, so always a good practice to do that. Fine. And next thing is we need to change the names over here. We will select this as VGG, and yeah, this as VDD, and also we will change the name of this M1 for uniqueness. So M1 underscore your name, you can write it down. Okay, and for one more clarity, we have to add a ground over here. I actually didn't add the ground, so you have to connect the ground with a wire. Don't forget to do that. Okay, it's very mandatory. Okay, now we have to label the nodes also. So let me just right click over here, label net gate underscore my name. So since on experiments are in online mode, that's why we have to take such precautions. Okay, so this is the drain terminal, and lastly this is my source terminal. Okay, so all the labeling part is completed. Let me just place the label somewhere down. Yeah, like this, slightly this way. Yeah, so my circuit is ready, and now I will go back to the OneNote PDF and check what has to be done. Okay, so let us go to this document. So for task number 1, we have to do the variation in RO. For that, we have been given several parameters. The threshold voltage VTO is given, the channel length is given, the channel width is given, lambda, AP, and gamma is given to us. And we have to consider VGG as 2.5. Okay. And also we need, for the first task, we need to plot ID versus VDS graph by DC analysis. Okay, and the variation steps are given. We need to vary the supply voltage from 0 to 5 in the steps of 0.1. Okay, so let's do this much. So I'll just minimize this a little, and yeah, place it over here so that I can view these values correctly. So first is the VTO value. So for that, what we need to do is let me right click over here. We have to add a spice model for it. So we'll go to draft, spice director. So you have to start writing your these statements, model parameters in this dot model statement. So we'll write dot model nmos1. Will change the name of nmos over there, nmos, and bracket whatever parameters are there. So VTO is given as zero point 0.7 volts, then space L. Now how much is the L value given? 2 micrometer. So you write 2 um, and W is equal to 10 micrometer, so 10 you have to write, and then lambda is given, so LAM BDA equal to 0.0. Okay, and next is Kp given to us. So Kp is given as 50 microampere per volt square. So we have to write 50 U. Okay, no need to write the entire unit. And then last gamma. Gamma is given as 0.0. Okay, so these are the parameters which have been given. And now click on OK and paste that model over here onto the screen. Okay, so automatically that model has come. Now we have to set VGG as 2.5. So we right click over here and set the value as 2.5 fix, because it is the output characteristics, and we are fixing one parameter. I mean the input VGS is same as VGG over here, and your VDS is same as VDD. So we need to vary the value of VDD. That's why right click on it, go to advanced and click on done. Also already selected, click on OK. Fine. So my circuit is ready. And now also I have to rename this to NMOS1, because in the dot model statement I have used the terminal NMOS1. Now, what else has to be done over here? Let us check. So we need to vary VDD from 0 to 5 in the steps of 0.1. Means we have to do DC analysis. So to do the DC analysis, let me just push this a little up. To do the DC analysis, click on simulate, click on run. Now over here we see DC sweep. So we have to go over there. So what we need to vary? We need to vary VDD. Okay, VDD. Type of sweep will be linear. Start value is given as 0, end value is given, stop value is 5, and the increment is 0.1. And click on OK and place it onto the screen. So if you do that, if you notice carefully, at the same time, you get a blank window with x-axis going from 0 to 5. Okay, so basically this x-axis is VDD. We know that VDD is same as VDS, but still we would like to plot voltage VD, you know, VD of the undernode the name. So what is this? This voltage is the drain voltage. Now let's see how. So VDS is actually VD minus VS, correct? So VS over here is 0 connected to ground. So VDS will be just equal to VD. Now fortunately here there is no resistor, or else VDD and VDS can never be same. Fine. So for this is the correct technique to get the value of VDS on the x-axis, and now on the y-axis we can easily plot these numbers. So now let me just minimize this again, simulate, run. X-axis we got this, and we again change the value voltage of the drain node. So this is the name which is given to us. So this is my VDS actually. And then I'll right click on this, add trace, and select on the ID of M1. Okay. So you see, automatically the name has come up. No need to do anything. No need to additionally write the names over here. If you all do this much, that will be it. Okay. And now we need to measure certain values, right? So let us read that out. What is to be done? We need to plot the characteristics, which is the derivative of plot in A. Okay, so we have varied the value of VDD, right? VDS, correct? Now we have to take the derivative of it to get the slope, delta ID upon delta VDS. Okay, so let us do that. So I'll again go to add plane plot. I think I will add one more, because we have to add third also. Three characteristics we have to plot. One is ID, one is derivative of ID, which will give us the slope, and one will be plot characteristics, which is 1 upon slope. Okay. So what do you mean by this 1 upon slope? See, basically, your value of RO is given by delta VDS upon delta ID at a constant value of VGS, correct? And the slope of, I mean, the derivative of this graph ID will give us delta ID upon delta VDS. But we want delta VDS upon delta ID. That's why we do 1 upon derivative of this, 1 upon slope basically. So I have to divide it into 3 planes. So one plane will be, or let me plot all the planes as ID first. So here it is ID, and the third one is also the same. Okay, and now I have to change this. Let me see, I'll add a different color, and this will be derivative. Just add this now, letter D, and open and close the bracket. So this second graph is my delta ID upon delta VDS. Okay, now third graph will be 1 upon that. So it will be delta VDS upon delta ID, which is directly giving us RO value. So I'll right click over here and I'll go here and write 1 divided by derivative of ID. Okay, so this one gives us the slope. So the moment you get the the circuit diagram ready and the waveforms ready, please take a print screen, and it should be a full print screen indicating the date and the time. Okay, so please follow this as a standard for all the circuits. Now what is to be measured, we will see now. Okay, to see explicitly what is to be done over here. So over here we have done these things. We have completed step number A, B, and C. D is we need to repeat the steps for different values of lambda. Okay, and now ID and VDS plot we already got over here, as you can clearly see. So this is ID versus VDS plot. This is derivative. This is the derivative of ID, and which is the slope basically, and this is 1 upon slope, which will give you RO, output resistance. Now what we need to do is we need to check out the values, different values of lambda. What all things we need to verify? We need to check out the value of, let me just slightly expand it. We need to check out the value of ID by simulation at VDS equal to 4 volt, then ID at VDS equal to 4 volt by calculation, then RO by calculation and simulation, and then RO at a particular value of VDS, which will be in kilo ohms. So let us start. So here actually we had to take in the experiment as 2.5, but I'll take a slightly different value because it should not be same. And I'll take a slightly different value of lambda, which is a sample reading. So let's consider lambda as 0.03 and VGG as 2 volt. And let us calculate these parameters. 236 point, I mean, we are getting already noted it down, but let's cross check these values. Okay. So as soon as you get this graph, take a print screen and keep it ready. And now we have to change certain parameters over here. Lambda, I have to make it as 0.03. Okay, and VGG has to be 2 volt instead of 2.5. In the lab, you have to do it with 2.5 volts only. I've given VGS as 2.5 volts. Okay, VDD is varied between 0 to 5 in the steps of 0.1. And now I have to note down the current at VDS equal to 4 volt. So one method of noting down the current is this way: right click on the cursor, right click over here, you will get a cursor which is movable, and as you can see, horizontal value is getting changed. Okay, but exactly at 4 volts, we are getting 405 microamperes of current. Okay, now sometimes here in this case it's straight, but when lambda is not equal to 0, it is not at all straight. I guess I have to run this again. That's why it was showing the previous values only. Yeah. So now you can see whenever the lambda is not equal to 0, you have a slight increase in the current, ID current. Fine. So now if you check the values of ID at 4, its ID is also changing slightly. So it's how much difficult to set this value as 4. It's very difficult. Now at 4 volt, the value is 236.65 microamperes. It's quite close, but there is a better way of doing it also. Okay, this is one of the technique of measuring it by cursor, but there is a better way of doing this. Okay, so what is that way? We will use the dot measure statement. Okay, so dot measure will automate the calculations for us. So we'll go to draft, go to spice directive, and start writing this dot measure. Okay, this ID value is just a variable, right? And next we will write find. Now we have to write that ID value, that I of ID of M1 underscore the name. This is the transistor name which we are given. Find ID when VDS. Now what is VDS? VD is nothing but your drain voltage only. So V of D, the label which we have given over here. Okay, and this is equal to 4 volt. Let's see what happens. I'll paste it over here. Well, again I repeat, dot measure ID, measure ID. ID is just the variable. Find ID of M1 underscore the name when VD of V of D of underscore the name is equal to 4 volt. I mean that's what they are asking, right? ID at VD is equal to 4 volt. Now let's see how does it work. So again I'll simulate. You will say, sir, we are getting the same graph. Yes, you are getting the same graph, but the value of this is stored in something else. So for to check out the values of this ID, okay, at VDS equal to 4 volt, we have to go to view and go to spice error log. I repeat, to check out these values, we have to go to view and check out the spice error log. Okay, so go to view, click on spice error log, and there you have it. You see over here, you got the value. So ID is just a variable. So ID at VDS equal to 4 volt is 236.6 microamperes. You see, it's directly giving you the answer without being, struggling to use the cursor to get the exact 4 value, 4.000 volt VDS value. Now, similarly, if we could do this, we could do, RO calculations also directly. So how to do that? We have to right click over here. Let me copy the statement one more time. And I right click over here, go to draft, go to spice directive. And now I want RO measurement. So what will be RO measurement? RO measurement will be, first of all, I'll change this to RO, small RO. So find 1 upon derivative, right? 1 divided by derivative of ID. Okay, this is like a slope, 1 upon slope. When VDS equal to 4 volt. Okay, that's what the statement we are writing over here. I hope that you got this point. Fine. I repeat, this RO is nothing but your delta ID upon delta VD upon delta ID. RO, right? By just doing the derivative over here, by just doing the derivative of drain current, we get slope. Okay, we get delta ID upon delta VDS. But RO is delta VDS upon delta ID. So we have to do 1 upon slope. So this value will give us the RO value directly. So we have automated it and we have written it over here. You find the value of RO when V of D, that VDS is equal to 4 volt. So let's see whether we get this value or no. So we have simulated and now let's check the error log. Yes, you see over here, we are getting a number as 157.79 kilo. So that's what we are getting RO by simulation, 157.79 kilo ohms. Fine. And now I will close this. And lastly, next I need to find RON. So RON at VDS equal to zero point 0.2 volts and RON at VDS equal to zero point 0.3 volts. Okay. So it will be just the reflection of the last statement only. So I'll add 2 more statements over here. Okay, and then now I need to modify them. Fine. So yeah, let me just modify the statements. We cannot have same variable name. So here I can right click and here I can edit as R on 1. Okay, R on 1. And I have to find the same thing, but R on 1 has to be done at VDS equal to zero point 0.2 volts. So it is 0.2 or 0.2 volts. So that I have changed it. And similarly, this I have to make it as R on 2, capital R on 2, and find slope, I mean inverse of slope when VDS is equal to zero point 0.3 volts. Okay. Now this should directly give you the answers. So again, go to simulate, click on run. We get all the curves as follows, but we need to go to draft, go to view, and spice error log. You see, these are the values which is giving us. So R on 1 measured at 0.2 VDS value is 3.446. As you can see, directly it is giving us the value. No need to calculate from the graph also. And similarly, second R on where VDS equal to zero point 0.3 is given by 3.750 kilo. As you can see, its values are exactly matching. So these are the numbers which we are getting, right? So let me just copy this somewhere. Okay, so right click over here, go to draft, go to label, and let me just write these numbers and keep it ready somewhere. Okay, we have to use this. So these are the numbers by simulation, correct? And now we have to calculate each of them by, mostly by simulation. So these numbers which we are getting are by simulation, correct? And now let's calculate these numbers by using the formula. So let me maximize this. Over here, these are the equations which are going to be helpful. So the drain current equation of n-channel MOSFET is given by half mu n COX into W by L into VGS minus VT the whole square into 1 plus lambda into VDS. So over here, your one thing to notice, this mu n into COX is nothing but Kp as we write in the dot model statement. So basically, we can say that the drain current is a function of VGS. That means drain current can be changed by changing the VGS value. It can be changed by changing the VDS value. It can also change by changing the W by L ratio. It can also change by if the threshold voltage changes, and also it can change if the lambda changes. So that's why it is a function of so many parameters. Now, if you want to get the expression of RO from this drain current expression, we need to first differentiate this expression with respect to VDS. So you calculate your delta ID upon delta VDS. That will give us 1 upon RO. And whatever is your answer, you do that one reverse of RO. You will get this approximated value and exact value of RO. So RO is approximately equal to lambda into ID. Whereas the exact formula says RO is equal to 1 plus lambda VDS upon lambda ID. So using these formulas, we will be able to calculate the, the calculated values of drain current and output resistance. Okay, so let's do that. So let me put the point over here and, let us check it out. Okay, so I will take the calculator and check it out. Half, that is 0.5 into mu n COX. It is given as Kp, and that is 50 micro. So 50 into 10 is to minus 6 into W by L ratio. W is 10 micro and L is 2 micro. So W by L is 5 into VGS. Now what is VGS over here? VGS is same as VDD, correct? So 2 minus, we have VT. VT over here is 0.7. So zero point 0.7 the whole square into 1 plus, we have one more term, 1 plus lambda into VDS. So over here, lambda we have considered to be 0.03. So 0.03 into VDS value. Now what VDS value we are evaluating it at 4 volts. So into 4. So I have put it in the calculator and I'm getting the number as, let me just, copy this out over here. So let me just write by calculation. By calculation, the ID value which I'm getting over here is, the value is 2.236. 236.6. Okay. E minus uh, 6 into 10 is to minus 6. So basically minus microamperes basically. So we can write 236 microamperes. Okay. So that's the value of current I'm getting. Okay, that's what we have written over here. Let me just try to increase the font a little bit. 1.5 I'll make it, and this also I'll make it as 1.5. Okay, so the first calculated value is matching exactly. We should get 136.6 micro, and we are getting that. Now let's check the R on value. RO value will be 1 plus lambda into VDS divided by lambda ID. So in numerator we have 1 plus lambda is 0.03 into VDS. VDS value is 4 divided by lambda 0.03 into ID. So the ID value from the calculation is 236.6 micro amperes. So if you use this, I am getting the number as, these are the numbers which I'm getting. Okay. So by calculation, the number is given as 15 7.79 K. Okay, coulombs. So the value which is this is also matching. It should be by simulation. Its value is 150 157791, and by calculation its value is 157.79. Okay, so that's how the values are coming, all right. And there are two important things before we go to the next part. So one is Ron, you know. So why we are calculating Ron at such a low value of VDS? That is the number one question. Okay, so let's try to answer that now. Okay, I have to close this. I forgot to put a close brace. Okay, fine. So let us try to understand that. So for the first part, you all have to vary the value of lambda. I have just taken a sample case of 0.03. No one should take that. Only the first four values you have to evaluate. Lambda equal to 0, 0.01, 0.05, and 0.06. All the calculations should be shown. Okay. So over here, if you see carefully, observe carefully, Ron value is coming out to be 3.446 coulombs at VDS equal to 0.2. At very low voltages of VDS, Ron is in coulombs. And if you slightly increase the voltage by even zero point 0.1 volt, your resistance changes. So basically, MOSFET is behaving as a resistor over here. But let's see how. So what's the condition for a MOSFET to be a resistor? So basically, it should operate in the triode region. So the MOSFET will be operating as a resistor in the deep triode region if VDS value is very much less compared to twice VGS minus VT value. Now let's calculate this VGS minus. VGS is how much? 2 volt, and this is zero point 0.7. So it's around 1.3 into 2. So around 2.6. We are getting the value over here. This value 2.6. VDS has to be very, very small, maybe 10 times smaller. Okay. So 2.6 we are saying, but we can have it as around 0.26 volts also. So as you can see, these are the family of curves for VDS versus ID characteristics. And if you magnify this, you will get that over initially the slope will be a constant. So there you can measure the resistance value. I mean, yeah, the Ron value. And thereafter, if you go on increasing the value of VDS, this slope will change and it will become almost like a straight line. Okay, so that's what we are doing over here, and that's the reason why we are finding this VDS Ron value at very low VDS values. So here VDS is around zero point 0.2, here it is zero point 0.3, and the MOSFET is behaving as a resistive, as a resistor over here. Okay, so I hope that this condition is noted down. Okay, so these are very small value of VDS, even at around 0.2 or zero point 0.3, this deep triode region can start. Okay, and now we'll go on to the next part. So this was about the task number 1. You can directly note down the values of Ron from the simulation. Okay, no need for redoing it by calculation. Fine. So we'll move on to the next part. So next part says there is a variation in GM with transconductance. GM is the transconductance. So the parameters are given. Okay, same parameters, but we have to take this time VDD equal to 5 volt, and we have to vary VGG value from 0 to 2.5 in the steps of 0.1. So let's start doing this much. Okay, I can take it out now because this discussion is complete. Now I have to make the new do the changes, reflections over here. So VTO remains the same, L same, W is 10 micrometer, lambda is 0.03, Kp is 50 micro, and gamma is 0.04. So these are the model parameters which we are writing, and we are saying that we have to give VDD as 5 volt constant value. Okay, and that's exactly what we have done. We have given 5 volts over here, and we have to vary the value of VGG this time. Okay, let me just release it. Okay, fine. Now it is fine. And now we have to vary the value of VGG. So we need to go over here and click on none. So now your VGG value is made to vary. Okay, so now we need to do what is all the parameters are same. Let's cross check. NMOS is its VTO is zero point 0.7, L is 2 micrometer, W is 10 micrometer, lambda is 0.03, Kp is 50 micro per ampere microampere per volt square, and gamma is 0. So those are the parameters which we have already added. And now what they are saying is plot the characteristics which is derivative of plot in A. Okay, so I have not plotted. So I have not plotted over here ID versus VGS characteristics, but you will get in the fairly in the first quadrant. Okay, so let's start doing that. Let's do the changes. Fine. So their measure statements, majority of them won't be useful. I'm just putting one of them and keeping it ready. Okay, and now let's check the output. Okay, let me close this. Okay, again your x-axis has to be VG, correct? I know that VGG and VGS are same, but still, it's the gate terminal in, I mean, and okay, just wait a second. So here we have to put VD of VS of, sorry. Okay, VG actually, sorry, is the gate voltage underscore the name. So I have to write the label over here correctly so that there are no mistakes. Okay, so this is VG underscore the name. So let us check this out, value out. So add trace, go to ID. Okay, just wait. I think there is slight mistake over here. Okay, and MOS1, all the parameters are given, and we need to vary the value of VGG. Okay, okay, we didn't vary the value of VGG. So go to simulation command and change this to VGG, going from 0 to 2.5 in the steps of 0.1. Okay, so this now it will come properly. So go to simulate, click on run. Your x-axis is VGS because source terminal is grounded. So your as you can see over here clearly, source terminal is grounded, and so VGG will be equal to VG. Okay, now I'll right click over here and add trace ID. So this is the value of ID which we are getting. Okay, fine. Now for this particular value of ID, what we need to do is plot the characteristics which is derivative of the plot in A. Okay, this will give us directly GM. Yeah, so if I take just the derivative of this, I'll divide this into two planes, and yeah, I'll put this over here at the top. So we'll go to, you know, okay, fine, fine. So here we also have to plot ID of M1. So you will say we have already done that before. Why we are doing it again? Okay, IG, not IG. Uh, Derivative 1 divided by slope will give us the proper result. Okay, so that's the value which we were looking for. Okay, just wait. Let us check it out. What exactly we actually want over here. So we require the value of GM by simulation and by calculation. So that is what is being required. And now let's check. Okay, over here we have a derivative. Okay, fine. So here I'll go to graph and I'll delete this. I have to plot ID again. but with okay, ID again, ID. This is not ID, ID again. Okay, and now you have to take the inverse derivative of it. I mean derivative of it. Sorry. So derivative of it will directly give us GM, which is the slope. Okay. So this is the graph which we are getting. Fine. And if you take 1 upon slope, this will give us capital R on. So I'll again add plane plot and push it up, and now I can add 1. I mean this ID is there, so 1 divided by derivative of ID value. This will give us 1 upon slope. Okay, so these are the 3 waveforms which you should get after you complete this task number 2. Now let's check these values out. So this is R on, this is your GM, and this is your drain current. Okay. Now let's check these values. You can directly measure this. Measure ID, find ID when VDS is equal to this. So just that instead of VD, we will change it to V of VE. Right. Let's wait for the simulation to get complete. I guess it's taking slight time. Okay, fine. I think it's ready now. So we'll take 2 more copies of this. Okay. So I have pasted it over here, and now from here I need to calculate you know in the first case ID we can calculate, but in the second case we have to calculate GM. Okay. So how we'll write here GM over here GM, and here when VDS is equal to 9, we have to take the value at VGS equal to. So I've taken 2.4. So here it will be VG. Okay, and this value, this number will be 2.5 volt. Okay, similarly this uh, okay, so measure GM, find ID when ID is equal to, I mean find ID when VDS is equal to 4 volt. So we have to change this when VG is equal to 2.5 volt. Okay, so this number also I've added. Then R on, capital R on will be over here. Okay, how will I need to copy this thing below. I guess that icon, yeah, icon is gone, I guess. Yeah, over here. Okay, yeah, no problem. We need to try it out. So we are carrying out the simulations for VGS equal to 2.5. So over here VGS is equal to 2.5, and we are automating the calculation. Okay, so yeah, I got that. So this is the one. I can duplicate it very easily, but I have to do all the edits. So it's about R on, capital R on. So measure R on, find ID when VGS is equal to 2.5. I think rest all it's fine, but only thing is we have to do click on OK. R on is this, also at 2.5 volts. Okay, so let's check this by some numbers. I mean, let's check the simulation values in spice error log. So these are the 3 waveforms which we are getting. This is the transfer characteristics of a NMOS. The second one is the slope of this ID, which is nothing but your GM. GM is, remember, delta ID upon delta VDS. Here it is, I think somewhere it is written. Yeah, GM is delta ID upon delta VGS at a constant value of VDS. That's what we are taking, a constant value of VDS as 5 volt. Fine. So now we'll go back to the draft, and over here we'll let's automatically calculate the values. I've already written the the dot measure statements, but still. So let us go to simulate and click on run, and go to the main menu, the circuit schematic, go to view and click on spice error log. So spice error log can directly give you the value of ID, GM and R on. That's what we want. So GM value by simulation I am getting slightly different. Maybe some parameters I might have taken slightly different. Okay, yeah. VGG, I have taken it as 2 point. Okay, yeah. Here it should be VDD. Okay, here it should be VDD equal to 5 volt, not VGG. Okay, so these values you have to get it, and I am getting a slightly different value at VGS equal to 2 point at VGS equal to 2.5. Okay, so VGS is equal to 2.5, and your VGG is varying from 0 to 2.5. Let's make it slightly higher. I'll give it at around, oh, that is not accessible. Dot DC, yeah, this will be around, let's say, 2.8. Click on OK. Let's simulate this, and we are getting these curves. Already we got it. We are now want the calculations to be ready. So again, I will go to View, Spice Error Log. Okay, so these are the values which I'm getting over here. ID value is 465 microampere per volt, and I think I've given the same common name. That's why it's creating problem. Correct. So I have to simulate it, run it once more, and check out whether I've given the statements correctly or not. So NMOS1, yes, dot model, all the parameters are given over here. Here, I guess we have to take lambda equal to 0. Yeah, we have, that's what I was forgetting. So we have to take lambda equal to 0. And then if you try to measure, you will get the correct result. I'll go to view. Okay, yeah, that's the value which we are getting. So, but GM value is same as your ID. Let's see that. No, it cannot happen. So dot measure GM, then dot measure R on, and find ID when VGS is equal to 2.5 volt. Yeah, that's correct. So now let's check these values one by one. So simulate, run, and let me go to the circuit schematic. So over here, let's see now the values. VG view spice error log. We should get some different ID is, yeah, every time it is taking ID GM, and the third thing will be, it should be slightly different. It should not come. Acha, acha, okay. I understood. All these three statements have to edit it. So second one is finding GM. GM means the derivative. So just have to add D word and open and close the brackets and click on OK, right? And the final one R1 will be 1 upon D. Okay. So here it will be 1 divided by D derivative, that is the slope, and then click on OK. Now you'll get proper results. So I'll click on simulation and go to edits, I mean go to view, sorry, and check the spice error log. So this is the amount of spice error log will contain the information. Okay, here the ID value is 405 micro volt. I mean 405 microampere per volt. GM value is, I mean ID value is this much. The GM value is 450 microampere per volt. Okay, and R on by calculation is 2.222 kilo ohms. So let's check these values out. Now let me just copy this out first somewhere. Okay, here I will add the comments and add these values over here. Okay, okay, we have added those values. This is by simulation. So this is okay. Control V, we have to control M, we have to go for the next line. Control M. So by simulation. So these are the values which we are getting by simulation. Now let's check it out in calculation. So calculation, we are taking equations as GM is equal to delta ID upon delta VGS, right? So over here, the formula becomes GM is equal to mu n CUX W by L into VGS minus VT. Okay, with lambda equal to 0, your R on and GM will be inversely proportional. So let us find that now. So the GM value will be given by delta ID upon delta VGS. Okay, so we'll figure it out. Okay, right now let's focus on the calculation. We are getting GM as 450 microvolt per microampere per volt. Now let's directly calculate this value GM with the formula. So it is 50 micro into W by L is 5 into VGS minus VT. So what is VGS? VGS is nothing but over here the value which you are taking at that point. Okay, let us see that. Okay, okay, fine. I have to go out of this. Okay, fine. So the values are coming all right. Here the GM value came out to be, let us just, we have checked it out. The ID, GM and R1 value we have got. Now by calculation we are calculating. Okay. So by ID calculation will be, let me copy this out. So this is per se calculation, the first part, calculation. Okay. So here if we want to check the value of ID, we can do that. No problem at all because your lambda is 0. So let's check that value over here of ID by by calculation. So ID is half, that is zero point 0.5 into mu and Cux, that is 50 micro into um, W by L is given. So over here, let's check out the formula for ID. So half into W by L into your KP value, which is given over here, 50 micro into VGS minus VTH. So VGS over here is let's say 2.5 minus VT. This is zero point 0.7 square, and we also have I think lambda is 0, so that term will come. So the value which you are getting are 81. Okay, that's quite odd. Let's check this out once more time. Oh, okay, okay. So I have not multiplied with uh, the W by L ratio. So that's what we have to do. Yeah. So I'm getting 405 microamperes. Okay, and here it is 405 microamperes only at 2.5. Now the derivative of that, the GM value. So how, which formula to use? We can use any formula over here. There are varieties of formulas for GM, but we'll use this. So mu and Cux is 50 micro into W by L is 5, 10 and 2, and VGS value is, we are taking it as 2.5. 2.5 minus zero point 0.7. Okay, so we are getting around GM value. Okay, okay, this is something different. GM value sample, it should be 405. So let me try it one more time. GM value is 50 micro into W by L, it's 5, and VGS minus VT. So VGS is 2.5 minus zero point 0.7. Okay, so that's the value which we are getting. This is 450 micro. Okay, so GM value is coming out to be 450. And is it matching over here? Yes. This is also 450 micro. And now we have to just calculate R on, which is just the inverse of it. So it will give us 2.2222 kilo ohms. So yeah, correct. So all the answers are matching perfectly well by calculation and by simulation. So that's how we need to complete the task number 2. Here it is given task number 2. So only you have to take only consider 3 readings. I've given additionally fourth one, 2.5. So I should not see that in your items. Okay. Now these are the 3 regions: operating cutoff region for a MOSFET, saturation and triode region. We have it. Okay. Here, normally what happens in case of output characteristics, the sequence goes as cutoff, then we have linear or triode region, and then we have saturation region. But this curve is representing VGS minus VGS in the x-axis and ID in the y-axis, with the condition that VDS is always greater than VGS minus VT. So let's check if it is true or no. So how much is VDS? VDS is 5 volt minus, let's check that value first. VGS is how much? Let's check the number. Its number is 2.5. So 2.5 minus 0.7. Okay. How much is this? This is around, oh, sorry, 2.5 minus 0.7. It's around zero point 0.8. So this 0.8 VGS minus, okay, actually, sorry, it should be 0.7. 1.8, which we are getting. So 1.8 is much, much less as compared to 5 volt, right? Correct. So the saturation condition is this. But in this case, as we go on increasing the value of VGG, there is a possibility that the device might enter into triode region. So when VDS becomes, as soon as VDS becomes less than VGS minus VT, it starts accumulating the electrons on its plate. Okay. So that's how this works. And yeah, so R on will be 1 upon GM, and GM we got it as 450, you know 450 micro ampere per volt, and now we are getting the values of RO. So 1 divided by 450. Okay. So R on value will be, let me just check it out, 1 divided by 450 microamperes, right? So we are getting the number as 2.2222. Okay. So R1 is coming out to be 2.22 by hand calculation, and by simulation also they are exactly matching. There is no absolutely no difference at all. Now let's quickly go to the third case. Now before going there, I have already explained what is a triode region. Triode region is the region wherein the MOSFET can act as a as a register, simple register. We can use MOSFETs for amplification. We can use MOSFETs in digital circuits. Uh, Sorry, we can also use MOSFETs for as a register. Okay, so that is the condition. So over here, the MOSFET, as soon as you give 5 volt supply, the MOSFET is already in the saturation region. And when you go on increasing the value of VGS, this VGS minus VT will become less, and your some one point of time your VDS is lesser than VGS minus VT. That is the triode or the linear region, we can say. Now let's move on to the task number 3. So task number 3 is variation in GMB. So over here they have given the value of lambda, and they gave the value of gamma, right? And we have to take the value of VDD and VGG as 5 and 2.5. Here they are plotting ID versus VSB. Okay, so we need to vary the VSB in steps of 0 to 2. Sorry, from 0 to 2 in the steps of 0.1. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go to the circuit schematic, and yeah, let me just break this because we have to add you know a supply VSB. Okay, so here it is. I'll rotate it. Oh, sorry. If I select R, register directly came. Okay, let me just put it back, and let's voltage supply over here. Okay, so this I have to, okay, I have to rotate it. So I'll click over here, and yeah, so this is rotated, and this value I need to this join them with the wire. So this one I'll call it as VSB. Okay, we need to vary this value. So we need to go to advanced and select none. So none will be selected now. Okay, So this is the third variation, VSB non-zero. Fine. So now we have to vary the VSB value, correct? So rest all the parameters same, only lambda will be, we can consider it as 0.04. They have considered to be 0.04. And here gamma given is around, let's consider it to be zero point 0.7. Let's do that. Okay, let's check it out. Yeah. So they have given lambda is 0.04, gamma is zero point 0.4 given, but for our experimentation, we will take it as 0.55 or zero point 0.7. Let's take 0.7. Okay. I've also taken at 0.55 and written the readings. You all can refer it and verify it later. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to plot the characteristics of VSB versus ID. Correct? That is A part. B part is take the derivative of it, which is delta ID upon delta VSB, which is directly giving you GMB value. Okay. So let's start doing that. We'll first calculate GMB, ID, and yeah, these three things by simulation. So let's go to the simulation now, LTspice space. So this is my LTspice window. Here I have to vary this VSB value. So here it will be no longer VGG, it will be VSB. Okay, it's changing from 0 to 2.5 in the steps of 0.1. Fine. So here, yeah, 0 to 2 in the steps of 0.1. Yeah, that's correct. But here, if you see carefully, if you read carefully, we have to just calculate the derivative, which will give us GMB directly. So we require ID value and we require GMB value, which is delta ID upon VSB. So let's start making the changes here only. Correct? So ID we have to find out only what will be this. Instead of VG, what it will be. So remember, VSB is, VSB is negative. Okay, over here, the way it is connected over here. Correct? And now we need to modify the statement. Fine. So we have to consider the gamma values given, zero point 0.7 we have taken, and GMB at VSB equal to 1. Okay. So here we have to write what is VSB. VSB over here is negative value. Okay. So we can treat it as VS minus VB. Correct. Your VB terminal is, between the source and the bulk we have connected, added a this thing, a voltage source. So over here, let's see if it works or no. Let me close this. Let me click on OK. Let me maximize this. I'll relabel this node also. So I'll call it as a body. It's actually the substrate, no, substrate this thing, but still we can write the body also. So what we need to do is we have to write it as substrate only. So B of energy. Okay. So here, let me check it out how to make this go up. Okay, fine. I guess it's fine now. Okay, so this is M1 underscore your name. This is the base body terminal or the substrate terminal. Okay, and now how this will change? See, we will give the value VS. The source terminal is grounded over here, right? And the body terminal is been connected the voltage. So VSB will be VS minus VB. VS is 0, so it will be like minus VB. So here we have to select the value as minus VB at 1 volt. Okay, so that's the value which we are getting over here. 1 volt, capital V will come. So we'll delete one of them because that is not needed. And here we are finding VGB. Okay, GMB, sorry. GMB. And here it will be VG, or instead of VG we have VB minus. I hope that you have understood why this minus sign has come. Because it's, see, VSB, na, the source terminal is grounded, so it is 0. And whereas your body terminal you have around, VSB voltage. So hence, okay, this is a mistake over here. Let me change it to, yeah. So hence VSB is nothing but VS minus VB, correct? So your value of VSB and source is grounded. So VSB will be nothing but minus VB at this particular value. So we have to just find GMB and ID from here. So I'll go to simulate and click on run, and yeah, I'll again do it. Your x-axis over here, be very careful over here. Your x-axis should be VSB. Okay, so it will be minus of V of B underscore the name. Okay, so these are the values. I mean, this is the x-axis. Right now, the x-axis is right. Let me just close it and show it to you. If I simulate this and change the x-axis from, it should be VSB, right? So it's like V of my B underscore, and the minus sign will also come. So this is my x-axis, VSB. Now we'll right click, add trace, and we'll plot the value of ID. Okay, I guess there is some mistake over here. Oh, okay. I got the error. We have to take VGG equal to 2.5 and VDD equal to 5. You have to consider both. So here we have to take it as 2.5 volt. Let's say 2.5 volts, and here already it is 5 volt. Okay, now it will work. Now again I'll simulate and change this to, let me just, okay, we have to change this to VSB, which is nothing but minus of V of B underscore the name, and click on OK. So x-axis has become VSB. We'll right click and add the trace and add the current ID. Okay, so this is the value of ID which we are getting. Fine. And now I will add the plane plot. Again, I'll plot the value of ID because I have to plot the derivative of it. So this is, I right click over here, just add a D. D stands for derivative, and open and close the braces. Okay, so these are the values which I'm getting, correct? And now I have to check these values at from particular numbers. So GMB by simulation at VSB equal to 1 volt. So at VSB equal to 1 volt, we have already written the measure statement. Okay, it will automatically calculate. And then GMB, sorry, ID, first case is ID, second case is GMB. So let's check that. Okay, so these are the numbers which we are getting. Okay, by simulation, the ID value is coming out to be 318.33 microamperes at VSB equal to 1 volt. And what's the value of GMB? GMB is coming out to be 121 microampere per volt at VSB equal to 1. So we have to note this down. I have noted it down. Let me just add it over here. Okay, I have to close this. Go to draft, go to comment, and yeah. So this is happening at by simulation. So these are the values which we are getting by simulating. Now we have to check by calculation, hand calculation, how much do we are getting over here. So let me just copy it over here again. Okay, so this I'll write it as by calculation. Okay, by calculation we are getting this. Now let's check the various formulas. Okay, so we have to calculate GMB by simulation or calculation, ID by simulation or calculation, eta, GM and VT by calculation one. So let's see the formulas. So the formula says we have, you know, GMB is given by delta ID upon delta VSB, correct? So GM formula is square root of twice mu n COX W by L into ID. This is another formula where mu n into COX is Kp. So GMB is eta times GM, where eta is, gamma divided by 2 square root of mod of twice phi f plus VSB. So by default, we can consider the phi f twice phi f value as minus 0.6. So we can check it out over here. Okay. So this is around minus zero point 0.6, and VSB itself is it's around minus 1 basically, right? VSB we have taken it as 1, but in reality when we connect it, we have connected the reverse. You can see correctly over here, VSB over here, absolutely. So base terminal we are connecting actually minus, so it inherently means it's minus value. Fine. So over here, let's check it out. Yeah, ID value is formula is already given, and whenever we are having a source to body voltage, that is VSB, is non-zero, our threshold voltage is getting affected. So this is the value of the threshold voltage. Now let's calculate one by one. Okay. So first calculate what gamma we have taken. Gamma we have taken as 0.7. Okay, so just calculate this eta first. So 0.7 divided by twice into mod of, so square root of zero point 0.6 plus 1, let's say that. So it will be the one number which I'm getting over here is 0.27669. 0.27669, that's the number which we are getting. Okay, and now let's check the value, let's calculate the value of VT. Okay, VT is VTO. How much is VTO? VTO we have taken it as zero point 0.7. So 0.7 plus gamma is zero point 0.7 again, zero point 0.7 into square root of, and what is this, zero point 0.6 plus 1 and minus square root of, we have zero point 0.6. Okay, so the VT value is coming out to be 1.0432. Yeah, you see one thing over here, a VT value was zero point 0.7. Now the new VT value, because of the substrate bias, has become 1.0432. Okay, so this is the change which we are getting. Now we got the new VT value. Now with this, calculate the value of ID. Okay, so 1.0432. Okay, so it is half into mu and COX is given as 50 micro into W by L is 5 into VGS minus VT. Now VGS value is 2.5 over here minus VT. 1 point VT value is 1.0432 the whole square into 1 plus lambda. Now the lambda value over here is 0.04. 0.04 into VDS. VDS is 5 volt given. So this number which I'm getting over here for ID is 318.33 microamperes. So here by simulation also I'm getting the same, by calculation also I'm getting the same, right? So ID value is coming out to be the same, 318.33. We are getting 318.34, but that's all right, almost the same as VSB equal to 1 volt. And then the value of GMB we have to calculate now. So we have calculated the value of ID. Let's calculate GM. Okay, so it will be square root of twice into 50 micro into 5 into your ID value. So this comes out to be, GM comes out to be 398.96 microampere per volt. So this is GM, right? Now if you just multiply it by eta, so eta into GM will give us GMB directly. So this I have to multiply it by 0.27669. So I'm getting the number as 110.38 microampere per volt. Okay, so here I'm getting over here 110.38. So this is the number which I'm getting. A slight difference, but that's fine. That's because all the model parameters are not being added completely. But still, we are getting quite close answer. We are supposed to get 121. We are getting around 110, and that too it's matching in microampere range. So rest all it's matching quite accurately. In fact, the drain current is also matching accurately. Okay, so I think that is all. That's how you calculate, the various parameters and check the various variation either in the output resistance or in transconductance or in GMB. And these are all the formulas which we have taken. Okay. Actually, one change over here, that value which you have over here, it's around minus 2 phi f. So your twice phi f is actually minus 2 phi f, minus 2 times phi f. So it is actually minus zero point 0.6, and Vs, it will become as, because it is minus 2 phi f, it will become as plus zero point 0.6. So that will be added to VSB. So VSB will be 1 over there. So hence the total is 1.6 actually. Yeah, this is 1 and this is zero point 0.6, so 1.6. That's the only clarity I want to put. So what's the effect of VSB? VSB actually increases the threshold voltage and it decreases the drain current. Okay, so that's how you complete this experiment. I hope that all the other readings for gamma equal to zero point 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.8, you all have to do the calculations on your own. Okay, I have shown you one set of calculations. You all can add these columns and keep it ready. Okay, so that's it for this AVLSI lab number 1. Next time we'll start with some other circuit. So until then, have a good day and thank you.